The duo Rui Costa. Gabriel Batistuta carried Fiorentina's hopes. The class of a maestro and the grace of a tenor, a blend of elegance and efficiency that left its mark on the Italian championship of the 1990s. However, this combination of virtuosos did not only know glory. Relive with us the epic of the pair Rui Costa, Gabriel Batistuta.
Afuera nos llevamos bien, nos llevamos de acuerdo, entonces es más fácil en la cancha buscarse. Y después las características que tiene él se adaptan perfectamente a las mías y entonces todo funciona.
Before the Argentinian and the Portuguese lit up Florence, chaos reigned the city. In the summer of 1990, Roberto Baggio, the star player of Fiorentina, was transferred to Juventus, the sworn enemy of the Florentine fans. Furious, the Viola Tifosi prepared a response to this betrayal. For 2 days, a riot broke out in the middle of the birthplace of the Renaissance. Molotov cocktails were thrown, 50 people were injured, 54 were arrested. The club leaders had no choice. They had to leave the club. Film producer Mario Cecchigori took over the reins of Fiorentina and found Roberto Baggio's successor the following season, Gabriel Batistuta. But replacing Il Divino Codino in the hearts of the Viola fans is not something you can pull off overnight. And when the media gets involved, it's even harder. The local press labeled Batistuta a phony striker. It must be sad that at the time, Gabby had very little experience at the highest level and only one season of 11 goals with Boca as a visiting card. But it was in adversity that Batigol managed to convince the Tifosi. In 1992-93 season, a year before the World Cup in the USA, Fiorentina were relegated to Serie B. The Argentine decided to stay on, even if it meant risking his place in the national team. The decision paid off, as the Viola managed to climb back up the following year thanks in particular to Gabby's efficiency. Meanwhile, another club was struggling, Benfica. Lisbon are in the midst of an economic crisis and have to part with one of their nuggets, Rui Costa. Fiorentina sniffed out the bargain and snapped up the Lusitanian for a paltry €6 million.
Rui Costa molto bravo. L'uomo che regge la Fiorentina, l'uomo di pugno, è lui che comanda lì nello spogliatoio.
Unlike his colleague, Rui Costa had quickly become a fixture at Fiorentina. As well positioned on the left wing as at the heart of the Florentine system, the Portuguese brings Claudio Ranieri's 4-4-2 system to life. Above all, this scheme gives meaning to his relationship with Batistuta. Between 1994 and 95, in their first season together, the pairing of Batistuta and Rui Costa was instrumental in 50% of Fiorentina's goals. The Argentina even managed to finish top scorer of the season with 26 goals. In short, thanks to their two playmakers, Fiorentina gradually became a credible contender for the Scudetto. They confirmed their status by winning the Italian Cup and Super Cup in 1996. The first two major trophies for the Gigliati since 1975. The Fio then dreamed a little bigger. In 1998, Giovanni Trapattini, a former Juve coach, took over the team. Fiorentina were top of the Italian league. Batistuta had already scored 17 goals in 17 games and Rui Costa was delivering caviar after caviar. But just when the Tuscan firepower was at its peak, everything fell apart. On February 7th, 1999, Fiorentina faced AC Milan in Serie A. During a counter-attack at the end of the match, the Argentine collapsed. He sprained his knee and was out for a month and a half. Rui Costa loses his henchman and Fiorentina their fireworks man. With only a handful of weeks to go before their first Scudetto in almost 30 years, Fiorentina fell to third place. A few months earlier, Rui Costa and Batistuta had suffered another setback in the UEFA Cup round of 32. After losing the first leg to Grasshopper Zurich, Fio lost the return leg on administrative decision. The Salerno fans, who had not taken kindly to a league defeat earlier in the season, were to blame. The anger turned into action. Firecrackers were thrown on the pitch, a referee suffered a knee injury, and the result was a 3-0 defeat for Zurich. Meanwhile, in the Italian Cup, the curse seems to bite harder. The Viola lost the final to Parma because of the famous away goals rule. The magic duo could not prevent the dream from turning into a nightmare. In the early 2000s, the two geniuses were forced to leave Tuscany. Fiorentina experienced an economic crisis unprecedented in the club's history. Gabriele Batistuta, plagued by injuries, joined AS Roma. For his part, Rui Costa took the time to offer the Viola one last Italian Cup, before joining AC Milan in the summer of 2001 for a handsome €41 million fee. The consequences of these departures were not long in coming. Without the pairing of Rui Costa and Batistuta, the Viola fell to the third division. Since then, the Fio struggled to get back on track. But in the last 20 years, no player has come close to the aura of the duo Rui Costa-Batistuta. Only one goal separates Batistuta from the title of Fiorentina's all-time top scorer. The Argentinian has earned a place in the pantheon of Fiorentina's greatest players alongside Roberto Baggio. Rui Costa, on the other hand, is remembered as the Fiore-class player. With his socks down and his head held high, Il Calciador scored a staggering 50 goals and provided 22 assists for the purple shirts. The Latin duo will forever remain one of the greatest lights ever seen in the skies over Florence. Do you have another legendary Serie A duo you'd like to share with us? Thanks for watching our video. If you liked it, don't hesitate to talk about our channel around you, to like, share and subscribe. See you soon for a new video. Ciao!